Yeah. Yeah.
I just don't have one putting on it. There's another one down there.
Yeah, you can take it. Yeah, that's fine. I only need one. Good. Good, and forward. Good. And let's change the rein. And now collect him just from your body. Move the saddle. Yes. Great, and sit. And sit. Good, and collect now. Move the saddle. Yes. Good. And forward. Let your leg go down a bit more. And again, move the saddle, collect, a bit more. Try to add a bit of life to it now. Add a bit of life to it. Easy, easy, easy. Add a bit of life to it. Go on. From your seat more, not from your lower leg. That's it. Move your seat. Good. That's all right. Good. And forward now. Good. Now when you feel like you go to collect him with your seat, try to have him feel like he's going to come up a bit. Good. Have him come up quietly. More from your body. Overdo your body. That's it. Experiment with it. That's it. Put a little bit of exuberance into the thing. Yes. Now go forward, but you got to be able to keep your hands still when you do it, right? Not snapping your hands around.
This is so dead to my legs.
Well, then go forward. That's it. To me, they get dead to the leg when you do the same thing over and over and over again. You just stay in one rhythm, right? You want to collect here, go there. Collect here, go there. Yeah, make more of a difference. Good. Good. Now lengthen. That's it. Go on. Go on. That's it. Go on. Go faster. Go rising trot. Go faster. There. That's it. And now collect. Good. Now go faster again. Go faster. Go faster. Go faster. There. And now collect. Go on. That's it. Now go faster again. There. You know, horses shut off like that when they just get into this that they practice. Boring, right? And they just kind of shut off in their head. That's it. Now collect. There you go. Good. Now canter. And lengthen. Go on. Go on. Lengthen. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. Go on. There. And now collect. That's it. Move the saddle. Yeah, better. Now go again. Go on. And collect. That's it. Mix it up a little bit so it gets a little bit more, give him something exciting to think about more. Go on. And lengthen. Go on. And collect. Don't start it. Don't collect with your hands first. Always your seat first. Good. And lengthen. Now 10 strides. Go on. Give, give, give. Throw the reins away. There. And now collect. That's it. Good. And again. Good. Collect. Seat, seat, seat. Yes. Better. Make sure you don't do it with your hands. That's it. Don't stop with your hands. Good. And lengthen again. Go on. Good. And collect. That's it. And let's change the rein. Good. Don't get tight in that transition. You want to keep moving, right? Don't get real tight in your back. Good. Let's canter to the left. Lengthen, go on. And collect, move. There you go. Good. And now go all the way down the long side. That's it. And kind of play with it. Go on. Now all the way down the long side. Give the reins. Go on. Go on. That's it. Now collect. Not with your hands. You want to feel like you're going to use your body. Your hands are only if it didn't work. Go on. Now lengthen. Now collect. No hands. Only the hands if it didn't work. Yes. Good. There you go. Put some life into it. And collect. There, that's better. Okay, you're going to prepare to walk. Good, and walk. All right, just come on over here. I want to say a couple things. So in a roundabout way, who's the one that's behind?
Probably me.
I'm not talking about your technique, but in your way of doing things. Right? If he comes around in a ring or whatever and just trots around and you work on that rhythm of, the one speed, just trying to get him off of your hands. I mean, right?
And I try to do, I really do a lot. I usually have a stick with it, and I'm trying to ride without a stick,
Oh, you don't want to ride. You don't want to ride with it.
Okay, I just can't. Because I can get really nice work sometimes. I really can get them really tight and really short, but then some days it's just like, oh.
Yeah, but then liven up the day,
Yeah.
right? Don't think about that he's got to be, that's not a day that you're going to work on his total, so much of engagement. I mean, think about it. It's all right, come on, let's liven up here. Let's, let's go shoulder out down alongside. Let's go over here, let's go there, let's here. Let's get that type of thing instead of then taking that day and working on what you want in of your dressage ring, right? Mix it up more, right? So that the horses are not also much like that, Because that's, if I think about with your horses, they're nice horses. They do all that kind of stuff, but they're not.
Yeah, I know.
What are we going to do? Yeah, and so that's got to be a way. You're young, so it's not an issue, but because you'll get it. But it's got to be an issue of what's going on in the head, right? That I can make this job not only interesting, but I can make it so that they want to play around with like this.
Right.
You know what I mean? I always think about, we would come in here, this is playground for me. It's just come in here and I wonder if I can get 10 steps between F and A. Right? Now I wonder if I can get 4 steps. Now I wonder if I can get 15 steps. Right? That's the way that well, how come when I get 15 steps, I'm over there? No, wait a minute, How come I get 15 steps on the left one and I can't get 15 steps on the right one? You know what I mean? That's the way to do it, because if I can do that, then I've got so many options when I go into a dressage ring. So many options. Yeah? Then I just show, what I got on the day and play around, because when you go into, obviously for a competition, you can't go 110% all the time, right? And you got to ride with what you got. Well, if I've got this many options, right? 70 of those options out of the 110 I've got, are going to be good enough to be able to get the job done. You see what I mean? Instead of either he is good or he is not. Okay, see what I mean? It's not that black and white. I always, out of my career so far, how many tests have I had that I thought when I walked out of the ring, that was what this horse can do.
Yeah, like 2, but not many, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah? I can think of 3, 4, and not the Olympic Games. That, you know, where Taylor did his test. Wasn't that test, funny enough.
Yeah.
You know, so that to me says, all right, 80% of the deal, 85% of the deal is good enough to beat everybody else.
Yeah.
Right? I don't need 100%. I don't ask for 100%. Very rarely. Very rarely.
Okay.
Right? I want 80, but I want a lot of different options of being able to save it, right? So you want to have a lot of ingredients in your salad. Okay? Be boring to eat lettuce every single day. All right, coming down here. Let's do some more. And that's a way of thinking, not a way of riding, right? Okay, let's go back up into the canter. Good. That's better already. That's it. Good. Lengthen. Lengthen first. And that's it. Good. And again, couple strides. And collect. That's it. Move the saddle. Move the saddle. Don't get stiff. You want to feel like you're going to move more when you go to collect, not less. And again. Good. Move more. That's it. And collect. Good. Now lengthen through the turn. Now balance. Collect. Balance. Move. 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 And again. On a circle. On a circle. Good. Balance. That's it. Now you don't have to go as many strides because he's starting to really answer you. So move the saddle and collect. Yes. Now see if you can get it in one stride. Balance. Okay, that's 4. I want to see if you can go forward in one and start to come back. Good. That's all right. Don't worry about it. Good. Now forward. Good. Balance. Good. Do it in 2 strides. Go forward for 2 and then move the saddle. Good. Move. Move. That's it. Good. That's it. Make sure you get the... Good. Good. That's enough. Good. Now balance. Now work on him. There you go. And even a bit more. That's it. And balance a bit more. Move the saddle. Move the saddle. Collect him. Try to canter in place now. Canter in place. That's it. Make him jump up and down. Wind him up. Yes. 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 Wind him up even more. Have fun with it. Even if he pops up out in front of you and comes above the bit. Yes. There. There. Now give and forward. Excellent. Rebalance again. Canter in place. Canter in place. Good. Doesn't matter. Canter in place. Yes. Now just relax and see if he takes you forward. Yes. Good. And trot. And lengthen. Turn right. Balance. Yeah, good. And sit. And more forward now. Go on. Make a change. That's it. Now trot in place a bit. Go on and really kind of trot in place. See how much you can get. Come on, don't start it with your hands. Don't start it with your hands. That's it. Reach down into your leg. That's it. And move the saddle. Be willing to move more, not less. Even overdo it. Jump out of the saddle. Yeah. There you go. That's it. Put a little bit of expression into you. Good. Now forward. That's it. Good. And leg yield across the diagonal. Leg yield, not half fast. Leg yield. That's it. Bend him a bit more to the left. Push him over. Feel like you're going to lengthen in the leg yield. Lengthen in the leg yield. There you go. Good. And forward. Good. Rebalance. That's it. Trot in place. Come leg yield across the diagonal the other way. Bend him a bit to the right. Now lengthen in the leg yield. There, yes. Good. Even more. Go on. That's it. And one more time. Come leg yield this way. Try to get to me. Come to me. On one line. To me. Where I am. Now lengthen. Go on. That's it. There. That's a little better. Come shoulder in down the long side. And trot in place. Go on, in, shoulder in, even more. And now lengthen, in, shoulder in. And now shoulder out. And lengthen, rising trot. Good. Still in the shoulder out. Good. There you go. Now sit. Yes. There. Much better. Change the rein. Leg yield back to the track. And lengthen at the same time. Use your body. A little side to side. Go on. There. Feel your body, feel your seat go a little side to side to help move his back. A little shoulder in. That's it. A little side to side. Feel that little side to side feeling. There. Like that. Good. Now lengthen at the same time. Very good. Shoulder in again. Yes. And lengthen. Yes. That's it. There's an answer. Good. Now collect. Trot in place. Really mean it. Trot in place. Yes. That's it. Good. And let's prepare to canter. Trot in place first. Let's canter to the right. And canter. Lengthen. And rebound. That's it. Now canter in place. Yes. Shoulder in. Lengthen. Shoulder in. And canter in place. Yeah. On the short side. In, shoulder in, lengthen. That's it, canter in place. Yes. There you go. There you go. And a smaller circle. Good. 2 reins. That's it. Keep both reins. That's a little better. And let's come across the diagonal. I want you to leg yield from the left to the right. Bend him to the left. Leg yield and lengthen. Go on. Go on. Go on. That's it. Counter canter. Good. Leg yield back to the center line. Yes. Good. And again. Bend him outside, bend him to the left. Leg yield over, a little bit of a lengthen. Go on. Butt over. Counter canter. Yes, good. And leg yield back over. Yes, good. Bit more hunches. Yep. And a short diagonal, lengthen, collect. Yeah, now we got some ears up and trot. And canter. Yes. And the leg yield exercise. Yeah, good. It's all right. Don't worry about it. Canter left, canter left, canter left, canter left. And leg you back on over. Go on. Push him over. Yes. Good.
David, when you're moving over, I always thought you were supposed to sit on the stone when you want to go there. You didn't know about the other night, no. Did you sit on the outside of the stone?
Yeah, to me you want to kind of lighten the inside, the direction. You want to lighten where their hip has to go. Yeah, when you go a little bit, it's a little bit harder in leg yield in the canter because they have one inside hip lower. So you end up doing that, okay? But if you were going to go back the other way, if you're going to go towards the lead, yeah, that you want to go in. So if I think about going to the left, the inside hip of the horse has to get like that, right, to get their inside hind leg. So that's why I would match it that way. Right, I stay in the middle, but your inside hip has to follow the inside of the horse. Okay, so it's the same thing when the harder part is leg yielding off of that way because you have to slightly take your weight in the direction because their hip is down there. Right, because the horse canters with its inside hip lower than the other one, right? So when I'm going from the right to the left on the left lead, right, I have to feel like I'm doing this. Okay, when I'm going the other way, okay, now I'm still on the left lead and I'm cantering that way. Yep, I have to feel like I'm trying to do that. Okay?
If you're doing that motion, you're just heavier on the outside, or well, not heavier, but it's more there.
Right, I want to make sure that my hip is following what my horse's hips are doing. Okay, so that's the thing that you have in your mind. So when you're coming around on a circle and you want to do that, okay, that's why in the trot, in that when you want to go leg yield in the trot, you have to, it's a little bit different in the canter. You don't take your weight there so much because when the horses trot, when they go leg yield, their hip goes like that, right? Right? So if I'm leg yielding and I'm trotting like that, watch your horse's hips and they go like this, like that, right? That's what he's talking about, that you have to open up your inside seat bone higher, right? To follow it like this, like that. Okay, and the canter horse canters this way, right? So he reaches over like that. That's the point, you have to do that. This is the thing that the people miss, because they say stuck there. Where's that sending the hip? Sent it out the other way. That's why people miss changes.
Okay.
Right? You want to think about it, you know, you'll get it when you can point the hip at the new lead. Right? That's why people miss changes. How do most people change?
They throw their weight.
Right, they go like this to the new lead. Now where have you just sent that? So what's the haunches going to do? They're going to be late. Right? Because you're sending them the wrong way. Right? The key is that when you go to change, and if I'm on the right lead and I want to go left, I have to go like that. Because that's exactly what the horse does. Does that make sense? All right, so if I'm on the right lead and I want to change, and I'm going like this, like that, when I want to change, I've got to do that. You understand? Right? So if I'm on the right lead and I go like this, right, I've just sent the haunches over there, and I can guarantee you the horses will always be late behind. Okay? I do a thing on gilt edge in the demonstrations here where I, you know, leap off, to, you know, you just about leap off to the side because that's what everybody does. They go, ha! Because Tex doesn't care. He'll do it right or do it wrong or do it whatever. It's just fun for him. Go ahead and leg yield. Bend him to the right, that's half pass. Bend him to the right. There you go. And turn, don't turn your body so much. Turn your body to the right and to the left. There. Feel that? Your shoulders should always parallel your horse's shoulders, and your hips should always parallel your horse's hips. That's the key. Good. Push him back over. Now your shoulders go to the left a bit. There you go. Feel that? Good. Try it again. Now turn your shoulders to the right. Leg. Oh, okay. Let's leg yield back over to the corner again. Across the diagonal. And the first thing I want you to do, when you think shoulder out at A, all right, take your right shoulder back. There. You see what that did to your hip? Yep. Okay, now keep your right shoulder back and leg yield. Your inside hip should be more forward than your outside. There you go. You feel that? It's all right. Now go back over. Now your left shoulder back. There you go. That's not strung out. No. There you go. Excellent. There you go. One more time. Take your right shoulder back. Take your right hip back. There you go. It's all right. Turn left. And one more time. That's it. Bend him. Make sure that you clearly bend him to the right. That's it. Good. Push him over even more. Lead him over there. Lead him over there. Lead him over there. That's it. Turn left again. Good. That's it. One more time. Lead him over there. That's it. Good. Good. Down the long side. And come on a circle here. That's it. Good. And prepare to walk. There, good. Good. And walk. Good. All right. Can I just hop on him a second?
I would love to. I would love to see what I
I mean, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised where.
in a minute, but I
No, of what I'm going to probably do, which is not fun enough to me. What you got to do is truly, I think, you got to get his ears up.
okay.
Right? You got to get him interested in what we're doing here.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of, I just want to see if it's you or him. That's why I'm hopping on.
It's just, to me, like today, I'm so glad he's here. Like today when he's like this, I can't come out and maybe do everything.
Got big ears. She got big ears. I think one thing is that I'm not so much worried about the way that he feels up front. Yeah, maybe a little higher. Yeah. So I think one of the biggest things that I'm much more willing to kind of I'd love to see you be able to do that. You know, in the end, you know, feel like I'm loose enough in some ways, right? So that I can ride, sure, like I'm going to ride in dressage test, right? Where I'm going to be there, right? And can I do the same thing and not have him care, right? And I'm, let's say there, yeah, or, you know, feel the rhythm of where you are so I can put a bit of life into it, yeah? So you see, even when I go to collect them, and I feel like I'm, you know, come on, kind of playful. I'm being almost light with my thumb. You know, doing that to it. That's why, you know, I keep talking about you guys sometimes about putting enthusiasm. Put a little enthusiasm, yeah, into it a little bit, okay? Instead of just always there, right? So that he ends up being lighter and almost more playful. Now, obviously, I don't want you to ride in a dressage test like that, right? But you also never see me riding in a dressage test like that, right? And I'm riding at home a lot of times. I'm, you know, doing, you know, longer reins and kind of playful. Move him. Oops. Oh, wouldn't that be absolutely the coolest thing?
I know.
You're just gonna sit on him and have a drink and then go on the ride.
I mean, everybody.
Look what David taught us.
You see what I mean? There's what I talk about putting life into it, because your dressage box is narrow.
Yeah.
Right? No, that's education. That's not actually not, I don't think, your fault, right? That's part of your education. But your dressage box is narrow, right? And that box of toys needs to be a lot bigger. Okay? To get into, again, start with what is my horse thinking always, right? And then how can I get him to do the things I want him to do? Which means in different frames, go all the way back to the beginning. Got to have the ability to change the frame, have the ability to move their feet, right? And have the ability to change their speed. Yeah? So here, when he's a bit, you know, kind of dead and feeling like that, I'm going to ride him a little high, a little bit lively and like that. Okay, instead of having a day where I'm going to be like that, right? This would be a day, if I had this at a horse at a competition, I might go out and forward seat, you know, and play around. The 3 days, I swear, there's an honest to God stories. In the 3 days before the Pan American Games on Gilt Edge, the huge polo field, I went out and played polo on him without a stick, with an imaginary polo, with a branch. That's how I warmed up for dressage. Because I knew that if I went and practiced the dressage, he's going to go, I don't want to do it, and he's going to shut down. And I went out there, and I've had a set of walk-ins. I played, I lengthened, I'd be like this, and all that kind of stuff. You know what? And my other side of this story, on Gilt Edge, he's very sensitive, very much of a workman, right? And I carry sometimes a jumping bat with me for my whip, right? When I carry a jumping bat, as soon as I put the reins in one hand, and I've hit him twice in his life on cross country. If I put my hand here, he goes like that. Sometimes when you see me go around the dressage ring, before I go in, I'll do my tails. Right? I'll do my tails and I'll snap. Just to put a life into it, right? So I get my hand here, and he goes, right? At Pan American Games, flies, terrible. Mosquitoes, they were just awful. So I grabbed a branch, you know, to help get the flies off and all that kind of stuff. And I was thinking, ooh, I wonder if I can do it. I could beat him over top of the head, around the stomach, underneath him, on him, while I'm cantering, and it wouldn't change.
Yeah, because he knows it's not the same.
Because he knows it's not the same thing.
Yeah. He's still, yeah, I can do it with him.
You see what I mean? It fascinated me, because I'm like beating him top of the head with a branch, you know, to help flies, and then experimenting around with it, and he's like, doesn't bother him at all.
He was totally he was completely hooked on when I got him, and the same thing, he's terrified of the jumping stick, but you can swing a lens whip on
Yeah.
him.
Okay, so try that.
But not my others. The others need to.
Go away from me. Hmm? Good. So that's already different. Yep. See, she's already moving different.
Yeah.
Good. A little shoulder out now. Good. That's it. And to me, that's not being round. That's being above, right? Because he's not being rude about it, right? He's still round in his, more of his step. You can add his frame later on. Good.
Totally different ride on that part.
That's it. That feel better? That's it. And as you slow down, try to move more. Kind of in a real playful way. Go on. There you go. There you go. That's it. Do you take the hips the other way?
Yeah.
That's very late. And collect now. Move, 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 move. Yes, better. Better. Now try to canter in place a little bit. And move a lot. Move a lot. Move a lot. Good. That's it. Kind of light and dance. That's it. There you go. There you go. And canter in place a bit more. Doesn't matter. Just leave your hands alone. There you go. That's it. That's it. That's it. Doesn't matter. There you go. That's it. You feel that? Good. Don't get tight. Yes. Yes. Better. And trot. Yeah, good. And walk. Much better. Good. You guys remember Jack? Do any of you guys ever get to see Jack ride? Jack Legoff? You know, I was with him for 4.5 years. And he was big, little spindly legs, about that big. Still has little spindly legs about that big. You know, huge stomach, cigarette hanging out of his mouth and all that kind of stuff. Of course, I was 20 and, you know, trying to beat the world. Needed to beat the world within that 2 weeks. That was very important to me at that point. And he, you know, so you'd be kind of doing stuff on horses that you know, was frustrating. And he'd get on and his stomach would be out there and he would ride like his hands would be going like this. Nuno was the same way. And his legs would be flopping like this, right? And the horses would melt. And it pissed you off? Pissed you off totally. But his legs would be kind of banging like that, and his, right in the most beautiful back and seat, yeah? Legs would be flopping like that, hands would be like, he'd be talking to you, all that kind of stuff, and the horses would melt. Absolutely melt. You know what I mean? And so it's one of the biggest things. I think I told you a couple years ago, and I told you you wouldn't understand it at that point. But one of the biggest things is that horses have got to be in a box, right? They have to have a structured life, and that's the leadership part of what you do, right? But they have to have total freedom in that box, right? Total freedom in that box. Total freedom to interpret, to move, to figure out, to be able to express that. So when you can get after this horse, all you know, with a whip and all that kind of stuff, and you've obviously decided that this is a problem of yours because you've not showed up with a whip. So that's a huge first step. Okay, but you can get after him a ton. You probably really wouldn't solve the problem.
No, not at all.
Right? You got to solve the problem by, hey, let's make it interesting for him to do dressage work.
You know, because it showed down to first school perfect, and then he's like, oh, so boring. You know, so I need to find something different to do.
Sure.
Like
or a different way to do it. Ride him in 5 or 6 different styles.
yeah.
Ride him sitting down. Ride him in forward seat. Ride him in both. You know what I mean? So that one, at a time, and I like to do that with my horses anyway, right? One, because on the 3rd day of a 3-day event, you might not be able to ride them in the style that you really want to, because their back is sore, because of something like that. You know? custom made. I got to go down there and sit down on all the time, and you know, because if you don't, he's going to run off with you, rattle and hum. You touch his back, and he goes like that. Yeah, two totally different styles to ride two different horses. You have to, right? Because you have to adjust to what they do. Well, you get to you'll have a 3-day event sometime in your life where you're not riding a horse that that you've been training on. You know, and as much as we ever do out here, when you ride a horse in 10 3-day events, you are going to ride 6 different horses on the 3rd day. That's just the game. Sometimes they're tired, sometimes they're not, sometimes they're a little achy, sometimes they're not. Right? Sometimes they got a thing because a piece of brush got into their chest and they're like that, though they're totally sound and happy and all that kind of stuff. But it's still, you know, how do you work with that? You know, hey, those things, that's just part of the game. Okay? Does that make sense? So it's, you know, it's a thought thing. You know, you need to put, when you feel that, it's not just you have got to go forward, right? You got to get him to cross the line to think forward. How am I going to do that? If I can get him to think forward, then I get to kick him a lot less. Right? So what actually, if I had a day like this, which is, you know, I mean, he's comes out, he's a bit stuffy, what, you know, okay, that's how he grew up, you know, or that's how he got out of bed this morning. Fine. All right, that's what you have. What am I going to do, right, when I have this 2 days before an event? Right? You're going to go out there and do that, or are you going to go out there and say, you know, I think I need to think outside the box. Right? And trust it.
That's the hardest part. You think,
Sure.
well, what if I want to try this sort of thing, you know, and then you think, God, well, no one has said to do this. This is me, you know?
Hey, that, you know, I'm known for that. You guys have seen me do just weird stuff. You know, I'm known for doing weird stuff.
Well, I just think we do wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
We get so
Happy brownies.
But I do, you know, I mean, I've done, you know, with horses like the Native or something like that, where you ride them in the morning, you get out in the barn, you walk to the dressage ring and do your test. You know, I've done that with quite a lot of horses. You know, because of pressure or whatever, and they feel like they build some more. So at some point in their career, I'm not literally get out of the barn, and the first step of trot is after they ring the bell. You know, saying that, right, because we're down to the same thing. I got this 60% thing, right? I'm going to say, I know that this is only 60% of what this horse can do, but that 60% is better than trying to go for the 100 and ending up with 40.
Okay.
Right? And I'm, you know, because your job is to get the less points available, right? He who has the least points is the one that wins. So my job is to get, okay, the least points on that horse, on that day. I call it calling out the mystics. You know? And that to me, you know,
yeah, you got.
I think that I'm going to go down this road. And that road might go to get back to here. And this would be a classic example of that feeling, right? To feel like on that day, you know, he said, you know, he's not there, so I'm not going to just hammer. I'm going to, come on, bring back his life. And it'd be interesting to see him tomorrow, you know, what he comes out like. You see what I mean?
Yeah.
And if you're in that event, all right, I might do that for 20 minutes and put him away.
Yeah.
And come out another 20 minutes and do something.
Something else.
You ride him 3 times for 20 minutes instead of 1 time for an hour.
It's trying to push him through it, just hasn't worked.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Right.
You see what I mean?
Yeah.
That's the...
That's right. Good boy.
God, man, who drives these big rigs around, man? Aren't they obnoxious, noisy?
Thank you very much, David.
All right, very good.
Do you want to start in there? Or?